Welcome to the Con Guy Show, your home for discussion and update in fandom, Comic-Cons, pop culture, and anything that you want to geek out on. But today, we are so honored to have as our special guest, Janeshia Adams-Ginyard. Yes, that's correct. Janeshia Adams-Ginyard. Woohoo! Janeshia, thank you for coming on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
We are so excited. My name is Jim Fry, and I am here today with some very special hosts. Tom, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Parham. I teach Communication and Media Studies at Palm Beach Atlantic University in Florida.
And Cheeseman.
I am Luke Cheeseman. I'm a screenwriter, and I'm social media director of theconguy.com.
And if you have been living under a rock, that's probably your only excuse for not having seen Janeshia and some of the amazing stuff she's done. But she's an amazing and talented actor and stunt performer who has been in so many things. We couldn't possibly name them all, but here's a few. Here's just a few. You have seen her stunt work in WandaVision, where she was amazing. NCIS, Los Angeles, The Rookie, Lovecraft Country, 911, Fear the Walking Dead, Marvel's Black Panther, and so many more. But also as an actress, we've seen her in SEAL Team, Women of Wrestling. If you have not seen her in Women of Wrestling, that's an amazing show that you need to check out. Station 19, All-American, Black Panther, and most recently, and this is so exciting, she was in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where we saw her acting and her action skills as NOMBLE. She's one of Wakanda's elite warriors, the Dora Milaje. Janeshia, thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Amazing intro.
Well, no, we've been really
well. You made it amazing by all those credits.
Oh my gosh! Like, there's so much, and like, if you could, just to start us off, if you could tell us your most recent thing, the thing. I mean, you've been in probably a lot more than this right now, but like your most recent thing that we are familiar with, NOMBLE on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which just wrapped up an amazing season and is going into, and it was just announced they're doing Captain America 4. Woohoo! All right.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about NOMBLE? When did you start playing her, and what should we know about her?
Okay, so first of all, again, thanks for having me. And NOMBLE basically is from Black Panther. So everyone that saw Black Panther saw that I had the black tattoo over my face, and I was one of the main Dora Milajes, the all-female warriors that protected our Wakanda and our Black Panther. And I basically have now gone over with Io to Falcon and Winter Soldier to help, get some justice, for my country. And so you've seen NOMBLE from Panther. And you also saw NOMBLE in the Black Panther Super Bowl commercial when that was I think it was 2018. It was right before the movie aired. They had the Super Bowl commercial for Black Panther. It was Lexus. And I'm driving in the car and I'm like, well done, my king.
That's awesome.
I've been around. But it was really cool with the whole name acknowledgement and stuff, and it was awesome, Mm-hmm. So people are now, fans, and people are starting to, put, okay, that's NOMBLE, that's Io, that's Okoye, that's Yama. So I think it helps the fans too. They're like, wow, look at all these different characters now.
Awesome. How excited were you when you first got cast as Dora Milaje?
I was ecstatic. I think that's actually an understatement. I really was, because it was a process that started probably back in October, from the auditions from the acting side, and then going to audition for the stunt side twice, and then flying down to Atlanta to audition in front of Ryan and Nate Moore. And so it was almost like an accelerated 4-week process. And then you waited. It was crickets. You're waiting for these emails. You're like, okay, did you make it? And they're sending you, like, I literally got a non-disclosure agreement before I was technically cast. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what, Lord, what's going on here? I'm just gonna move with this. They're giving me an NDA. Don't say shit, you know. So it was one of those like, oh, I get an NDA, but I didn't get a confirmation. So, but Marvel's always been on my vision board, and it literally, I'm a walking testimony of vision boards and putting and speaking things out into existence. And I was super juiced. And then, of course, later they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to shave your head." So,
So how does that work? You signed an NDA, but you have to shave your head. What do you tell people?
okay,
Oh, this really cool part.
So the NDA was just that. I thought it was just so funny, but I thought it was like I treated it as like a foreshadowing. Like, okay, something is gonna happen from this. You sign it. You're not supposed to speak about the process of what's going on, this audition, all these things. Because I've gotten NDAs for auditions sometimes. People don't even want you to know that you come and audition for a product. So I was like, okay, but something is going to come from this. I know it. I prayed about this every day. It's on my vision board. And so finally saying, hey, you are going to be a Dora Milaje. You are one of our all female elite warriors. And it was like, wow, all of that was worth it. Everything I put in, all my hard work, I paid my dues, I trained hard. I just felt like I was being rewarded. And so then after getting that, you find out with the character has a bald head, and yeah. You're like, oh, you're this character that is going to be bald headed. Yes.
Now you're an actress and a stunt person. How have you been able to flex both those skill sets?
Great question. So I actually started off in the industry acting first. I've been an athlete my whole entire life. I did track and field growing up. I did collegiate track and field at UC Berkeley, Go Bears, Pac-10. And from that whole transition of sports, and I did bobsledding. I started doing a lot of jock roles. I was like the athlete. I did a lot of, different Nike campaigns, CrossFit, soccer. And it was once I kind of got tired of being on a print job where I was kind of just standing there, like holding a kettlebell, or I was like, I need to be more active. I need to have some more physicality involved in this. And that's kind of how I transitioned into stunts. But I started off acting first. And I really look at myself as like an action actor. So there's still acting involved. Like I take acting classes because I'm still on camera. If I'm doubling an actress, I am an extension of her. So I still have to watch her movements. I have to literally try to be as seamless and flawless when it's time for me to go in and do my work. So all of it is acting, actually. And then the action is the stunt part. So I think I've been doing a good job with the balancing of that. And it's great that I can do stunts because I can do my own stunts, when I'm acting on camera. So
that's so interesting. Like it's so interesting to watch to read about stunt performers and what goes into being a stunt performer. Can you talk for a second, like describe the choreography that goes into your stunt work, the choreography when you are doubling somebody and even like with Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it's yourself. You're doubling yourself. Like you are the choreography, who works out the choreography. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so it's definitely a dance. Like I feel like we all use that word like it's a dance because it really is a dance. With the choreography, we train, and a lot of these sequences that you guys have seen on many of the Marvel projects, they're intense. And they're just not like a punch here, boom, and you're out. It's like, no, you're traveling from a train station, train tracks, a ditch. I mean, the fights travel, right? So with the traveling and the movement, it's a dance, it's the choreography. And we have our stunt coordinators, we have our fight coordinators, our choreographers, and they're the ones who really work on the sequence of events. I will say with Panther was really cool. You started, in those battle scenes out in the field when we would fight, it got to the point where we started coming up with our own stuff. We're like, okay. So I'm gonna strike you high, you go low, you miss, so it got to we were out there so long, we started coming up with different fight sequences between ourselves. But did that answer your question?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like to see all of you doing all your stuff in Black Panther. It's always I'm just always like so intrigued about like there's so many different fights and so many different moves, and you were just describing how sometimes you guys come up with it yourself and you got to go high, I go low. Like that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I will say, and I mean, you've learned this over the years. I've been doing stunts now for almost a full 11 years. And so you learn, and I'm still learning every day. I'm on set, I'm learning. But I will say it helps so much when you're doing your fighting and stuff. The intent is there. You might start off as like a baby and you're just like, I don't want to hurt them, I don't want to hit them. It's like, no, we need the intent. Strike, kill them, punch them. The intent helps sell everything, and that's what makes it so real for the audience. So yeah, with the fights and the movement. Yeah.
So cool.
Let's talk a little bit about the Dora Milaje. Black Panther came out after Wonder Woman, but I had many friends who were more impressed with the way women in Black Panther were treated, because in Wonder Woman, the Amazons are kind of an oddity. In Black Panther, the Dora Milaje, that's just, they are, and they will hurt you, as Donna Walker found out.
The Dora Milaje are not to be messed with.
Right. What kind of training did you have to go through as to perform on screen as a coherent unit? Because it's different from just being a stunt person. Yeah. You are a fighting force. You are the King's Guard. Yes.
So we actually trained for, I want to say months, but I felt like, we trained for a long time, and we trained in bow staff because our weapons are spears. And the best way, I think people would agree, that the best way for us to easily transition onto screen was with the bow staff because of, just the similarity of the spear. And so we trained every day. I think our training started at like 7 a.m. It was not later than 7:30. I tell you right now, I don't remember starting after 8. So very early in the morning. Thank you guys. We trained very early. And we worked on just starting basics, figure eights, right hand. We had to do left hand. Sometimes, we all have our dominant hand, but we needed to be ambidextrous, right? So we did right, we did left, strike. We even learned some tricks. And I don't know if any of us had ever had bow staff training. I certainly didn't. And now I'm doing double-handed bow staffs. It just has not left me, but I think that was the key, is we were training every morning, 7 a.m. together with bow staff, just high, low, then strikes, left, because on camera, you want to be precise. So you want to make sure that if I'm going for your head, I'm going for your head. If I'm going for your neck, I'm going for your neck. You want straight lines, right? You don't want to, because it doesn't read well. So we really worked on our precision and our specificity, being specific. Okay, that's what we're and strikes, making sure our lines are clean, and that was a lot of training. But I think everyone received it well, and I think it resonated and was displayed on camera very accurately.
Oh yeah. Cheese man.
Now, for people aspiring to get into stunt work and all that, like, what's been your journey from like the beginning to becoming this top tier stunt actress performer?
I will say to anybody out there trying to do anything, the first thing you need to get in your head is never allow anyone to deter you from your dreams, your aspirations, and goals. First thing, right? Once you got that down, you're halfway there. So after that, you want to, because there's no right way to get into stunts. I got into stunts through my athletic background after transitioning from doing, athletics and U.S. bobsledding, right? Other people might have gotten it through circus work. So you can create your own luck, you can create your own pathway, but you just can't let anyone deter you from where you're trying to go. I think it's very helpful if you take some type of martial arts, some type of acting, on screen, combat, something, because you got to be a student of the sport too, right? And so I knew that I wanted to transition into stunts. I had no gymnastics background outside of knowing how to do a cartwheel and a round off. So I hired a private gymnastics and tumbling coach. I learned how to do a backflip, front somersaults, back tucks, wall flips, trampoline. Like, I knew that when I'm watching these action movies, somebody's getting thrown in the air, somebody's doing some type of jumping, somebody's doing some super awesome kicks. So I picked up Taekwondo specifically because they're 80% kicks, 20% hand. And I'm like, I want to do some nice kicks. I became a student of the sport. I'm like, you want to be a stunt person? This is what they do. You got to have air awareness. You need to know kicks. And I already had kind of the acting stuff. So I would say that. I think if you can do all that, you're on your way. You can make your own luck. You can create your own luck. I don't have any family in the industry. And so, but I've navigated my way here. I've heard a lot of no's, but it didn't matter. I didn't care. And I think that's what's helped,
Well, that's pretty amazing, especially with no contacts in the. I'm sorry, Luke, are you going to have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I was bobsledding. Did you say bobsledding?
Yes, I was a brakeman. Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
So if they rebooted Cool Runnings, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. And I'm half Jamaican. I mean, I deserve to be on the Cool Runnings reboot, I think.
I think so too. That sounds like it's meant to happen.
Okay. I deserve that. If they ever did a Cool Runnings reboot, I mean, they need to be hollering at me.
Hey, let's not put it past Disney Plus. They are recreating a lot of really cool content right now. Hey, oh, that's so amazing. You talking about, like, you don't have any contacts. You didn't have any contacts in Hollywood, because we all know it is close to impossible to get into this town. So congratulations on that.
Oh yeah, thanks. I mean, and people like to downplay like the background or the extra work. I started doing that. I mean, look, I'm Jamaican. We have about 10 jobs. I was hustling. You could catch me one day as a background artist. The next day I'd be principal on a commercial. It literally would happen that way. But that was the drive in me. I come from an athletic background. So, we're very persistent, we're driven, we're disciplined. And I think all that helped. But I was doing background work, just to get my vouchers, get in the union. I learned, what it was like, what an AD does, what the PAs are doing, just some set awareness. And I think all of that helps a person who is trying to pursue this lifestyle, this industry,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was a movie extra as well. That was like my start to Hollywood. My first 2 years as a background actor. So like, kind of like what you're saying, like my motto was something's always better than nothing. So even though it like felt like, oh, here's a little money, here's a little side hustle kind of thing. Like, it's just like something's better than nothing. So like, I was always willing to like put myself in different places and not judge what the job was.
Absolutely. And it's just like, I knew I wasn't going to be a background actor my entire life. That wasn't that it's all about mindset too. I'm really big on mindset. So I'm doing that to get me where I'm going. Like, I have a vision board. Vision board didn't have background actor on it. You know what I mean? It didn't have background, didn't have extra on it. So I know where I was going. You have to know sometimes it's just a means to an end. And I used that experience. I was still training for stunts. I was still doing auditions. I was still booking principal and then working extra maybe 3 times. Just people, you just got to do it.
You knew your worth. You knew your worth even when you're doing the smaller things.
You know your worth.
I tell my students, take that studio job. If they ask you to sweep the floors of the soundstage, take the job. Because once you're on the lot, your foot's in the door, and it's easy to move from one department to another, especially if you're good at that job, sweeping the floor. Your boss will recommend you for a better job.
Yeah, it's all about getting your foot in the door. I know we spend so much time on this question, but I want to share this. It's about just being there and knowing that you have a purpose and a destiny. So my favorite sports team since birth was the New York Knicks. Favorite, and still is since birth. I have everything New York Knicks, orange and blue. Well, when I was a freshman at college at UC Berkeley, go Bears, the Knicks came to play the Warriors. And I was like, I am going to meet this team. I'm going to meet them. I don't care. Nobody's going to stop me. Allen Houston at the time was my favorite basketball player. Favorite. And so I made 2 posters. I wrote them. I wrote them out. I went on BART. I made it to the thing. After the game was over, they're like, all right, everybody exit this way. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not exiting anywhere. I'm going to see Allen Houston. I'm giving him these posters. I'm about to meet Latrell Sprewell. I don't know what we're talking about. So I literally walked my little freshman behind across the court. I made my way over to where the locker rooms were, and they were like, oh, ma'am, are you here? You're waiting on the team? I was like, absolutely, I'm waiting on the team. I'm waiting for Allen Houston. And she was like, oh, you know what? All the family and stuff and everybody's over here, so just wait over there. Went over there, met Allen Houston, gave him my posters, started crying. He was like, thank you so much. Met Latrell Sprewell, met everybody. All I'm saying is, once you got your foot in the door and you are determined to get somewhere, it will happen. I promise you. And the people will feel that energy, and they'll be going along with your plan. I didn't even have to show a ticket. The same lady was asking everybody, where's your ticket to scare? Where's your ticket? She didn't ask the crowd. She's like, oh, you're waiting for the, yeah. She felt the energy. She's like, this girl's going somewhere. I don't know where she's going. You just help her over there with the family. So once you are in there and you got that, embrace it.
You acted the part.
That's awesome. So we just a couple of questions left. I know we're kind of bumping up against our end of time here, but you talked about the things you have to do to get the part, that perseverance and just do it. Shaving your head for the part of the Dora Milaje. How was that? Like I don't know. How did you do? Was that okay with you, or to get this part? And what else did you have to do to prepare for this part?
So, was it okay with me originally?
Well, not okay, but like
absolutely not. I was, yes, I'm being completely transparent and 100. I cried. I called my friend Anna. I was crying to her, and she was like, Frosty. Frost was my wrestling name. This Frosty, why are we crying over hair? Hair goes back. I'm like, okay. I hung up with her. She wasn't saying what I wanted to hear. So, and then I was like, I need something different. I need somebody to tell me that this is not okay. Then I called my pastor. I talked to my pastor, Pastor Hosea, and he was just like, Jesus sacrificed it all on the cross. You mean to tell me you can't sacrifice your hair? Like, isn't this what we've been praying for? Like, literally, I had my whole entire church praying with me. My whole entire church. We're talking about when I was first told that Black Panther was going to be a movie, that was in April. I prayed every day, the same prayer. Thank you, God, in advance for Black Panther every day up until I got it. So he's like, isn't this what we've been praying for? Like, you've had the whole church, we've all been praying for you. And I will tell you this, your sacrifice will not outweigh your reward. And when he said that, I was literally sold. I said, you're absolutely right. And then I was totally fine with it from there. I didn't shed any more tears over it. But yeah, because when they said you had to shave your head, I literally was like, I've doubled short-haired people before. I sent them back a picture. I was like, does this work? They're like, no, I think it's a little shorter. I said, I have another picture of me in a wig that was shorter. Does this work? They're like, no, I think they want to do it themselves. So it was this whole back and forth. Yes. Yeah. But it was definitely, it was worth it. It has turned out to be a sacrifice and a testimony at the same time. And I learned so much from it.
So cool.
It's crazy how God will work through a haircut, because when I was a background extra, I had the same thing happen, and they were like, they're going to cut my hair into some period piece thing. And I just felt like, do I need to just walk away from this job and not do it? Because I'm going to have this really stupid looking haircut. Mm-hmm. But because I stayed on a job, I met somebody that led to me meeting somebody else that led to me still being here in Hollywood from this job and having this stupid haircut and all that. But it's just crazy, what path can do, if you're willing to sacrifice some things, especially your hair.
It's so true. I had no idea Avengers was coming from Black Panther. I had no idea. We were sent an email while we were shooting the casino scene in February of that year. And it was like, hey, just letting you know the doors are going to Avengers. I was like, unbelievable. I was jaw dropped, and I literally was like, sacrifice, reward. You know what I mean? I'm like, doesn't matter. There's no comparison. Yeah.
Janeshia, I just love your spirit and can't wait to see more of you on screen. What's next for you?
So Thank you. I'm glad that you guys can see God's light shining through me. And so what's next? I have a co-star role in Special. Special is the Amazon Prime series, season 2. So I have a co-star part on Special. I just did 2 episodes on Black Lady Sketch Show. So one of those is coming up. And SEAL Team. You guys mentioned SEAL Team. Yeah, and there's 2 other things that I can't mention. Just know that I'm booked and busy.
That's fantastic.
Oh wait, no, I can't mention this. So I also did an episode with Bobby Bones. You guys know who Bobby Bones is?
Yeah.
Yes. So he has a new series on Nat Geo called Breaking Bobby Bones, and I'm very happy to say that I'm a part of one of the episodes, and it should be amazing. The series premieres on Memorial Weekend. So
fantastic.
Right on.
Yes.
Well, it's fantastic. And just to let you know, myself, Tom, and Luke, we all met at church. And so we're all Christians. We're all people of faith. And just to hear you being so outspoken, you're an encouragement. Thank you so much for just being so encouraging in your faith and your vision. This was fantastic. We really appreciate you being just so genuine in who you are.
Thank you. I love it. Oh yes. See, I was with family.
Yes, this is family.
Yeah, right. I'm all about Team Jesus. My business is called Hyphy for Christ, and it needs to be overly excited or energetic for Christ. So yes. All
right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you speaking with us today. One last question: if we read your interview with the Direct, and you mentioned that if there is a Dora Milaje series, what would be your response to that?
I would be so down for that. Bring it. I'm so down for that. It's definitely needed. And yes, get to work, people. We need it.
I think it's inevitable. It's going to come. Like Thanos said, I am inevitable. I think it's coming.
Right. We need it to come this fast.
Right. All right, Janeshia, thank you so much for speaking with us today. I know you are busy, Tom. I know you're busy over there in Florida. Me and Luke, we got nothing going on, but I'm just kidding. Anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you watching the show. Janeshia, if people want to follow you or find out what's going on with you, how can they do that?
Okay, so Wakanda Forever, everybody. Thank you so much. And you can follow me on Instagram at Hollywood Lady J. That's Hollywood LADYJ. And Facebook, Janeshia Adams-Ginyard, and my name is on the screen. So it's a long hyphenated last name. So yes.
Tom, where can people find you?
You can find me at Blurred PhD on Twitter and Instagram.
It's awesome. Cheeseman.
Oh wow, that's an update. You got the double thing going there now, Thomas. Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well as Cheese on Couch, and you can also find me on theconguy.com.
And you can find me at Jim Fry LA on Twitter, James D. Fry on Instagram, and follow us at theconguy.com. Thank you guys so much. Janeshia, this has been such an honor speaking with you today, and prayers, blessings, and all the luck in the world. We can't wait to see what you're doing next.
Thanks so much. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Awesome to meet you.
Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.